Crash course on Canadian firefighting services. Canadian Fire Services are responsible for providing fire protection and emergency response services to communities across the country. These services are typically organized at the municipal level, with each municipality responsible for establishing and funding its own fire department. Despite similarities in their roles and responsibilities, Canadian Fire Services can vary greatly in terms of their size, structure, and organization. Some of the key differences between municipal fire departments in Canada include: 1. Size. Fire departments in larger municipalities tend to be larger and more complex, with more firefighters, equipment, and specialized units. Smaller municipalities, on the other hand, may have volunteer-based fire departments with fewer resources. 2. Geography. Municipalities in different regions of Canada may face different types of fire hazards and emergencies. For example, communities in coastal regions may have to contend with wildfires and marine rescues, while those in northern regions may have to deal with extreme cold and snow. 3. Population density. Urban and suburban municipalities tend to have higher population densities, which can impact the design and organization of their fire departments. These departments may need to have more specialized units and equipment to deal with high-rise buildings and other urban hazards. 4. Industry. Some municipalities have specialized industrial facilities that pose unique fire hazards. For example, communities with oil and gas refineries or chemical plants may need to have specialized training and equipment to deal with potential emergencies. Despite these differences, all Canadian fire services share a common goal of protecting their communities from fire and other emergencies. Here are some interesting examples of Canadian fire services and their unique differences. A. Toronto Fire Services. Toronto, the largest city in Canada, has one of the largest and most complex fire services in the country. With over 3,000 firefighters and 84 fire stations, the Toronto Fire Services respond to over 120,000 emergency calls each year. The department also has specialized units, such as a marine unit for responding to emergencies on the city's waterfront. B. Yellowknife Fire Department. The Yellowknife Fire Department serves the capital city of Canada's Northwest Territories, which has a population of just over 20,000 people. Despite its small size, the department is responsible for responding to a wide range of emergencies, including wildfires, structural fires, and medical emergencies. The department also has a specialized ice rescue team to respond to emergencies on the city's many lakes and rivers. C. Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency. Halifax, the largest city in Canada's Atlantic region, has a unique fire service that combines both fire and emergency medical services. The Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency Department responds to over 18,000 emergency calls each year, with firefighters trained to provide both fire suppression and emergency medical services. The department also has specialized units, such as a hazardous materials team and a high-angle rescue team for responding to emergencies in tall buildings. Firefighting in Canada dates back to the early 17th century when the first fire protection measures were established in Quebec City. In the centuries that followed, firefighting evolved and became more organized, with the establishment of volunteer fire departments in the 19th century and the professionalization of firefighting in the 20th century. Canadian firefighting services have made significant strides in reducing fire-related deaths and injuries over the years. According to Statistics Canada, the number of fire-related deaths in Canada has decreased by 76% since 1980. Thanks in large part to improvements in fire safety education, equipment, and building codes. Despite these achievements, Canadian firefighting services continue to face a number of challenges, including: A. Budget constraints. Many municipalities struggle to fund firefighting services adequately, which can impact their ability to provide the necessary equipment and training to firefighters. 2. Staffing shortages. Some municipalities also struggle with staffing shortages, particularly in rural areas where it can be difficult to attract and retain firefighters. 3. Climate change. Climate change has contributed to an increase in the frequency and severity of wildfires, putting additional strain on firefighting services. Firefighting services in Canada are typically organized at the municipal level, with each municipality responsible for providing fire protection services to its residents. The structure and leadership of each department vary depending on the municipality, but most have a fire chief or equivalent position who oversees the department's operations. Municipal unique differences. Each municipality has unique firefighting challenges and requirements, which can impact the structure and organization of their firefighting services. For example, municipalities in rural areas may have volunteer-based fire departments, while those in urban areas may have larger, more professional departments. Additionally, some municipalities may face unique risks such as those posed by large industrial facilities or transportation infrastructure. Here are some interesting examples, stories. 1. The Great Fire of 1901. In 1901, a fire broke out in downtown Ottawa, destroying over 90 buildings and causing over $1 million in damages. The fire was fought by a combination of volunteer and professional firefighters, and it prompted the city to establish a professional fire department. 2. The Fort McMurray wildfire. In 2016, a massive wildfire broke out in the city of Fort McMurray, Alberta, forcing the evacuation of over 80,000 residents. The fire burned for over a month and destroyed over 2,400 homes and buildings. Firefighters from across Canada were called in to help fight the fire, and the incident highlighted the challenges posed by climate change and the need for effective wildfire management strategies. 3. Ice water rescue training. Many Canadian firefighters are trained in ice water rescue techniques, given the country's cold climate and the prevalence of bodies of water. In some municipalities, firefighters conduct regular training exercises on frozen lakes and rivers to prepare for potential rescue scenarios. In summary, Canadian fire services are responsible for protecting communities from fire and other emergencies. While they share a common goal, these services can vary greatly in terms of their size, structure, and organization, depending on the needs and challenges of their respective municipalities. Despite these differences, all Canadian fire services are dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of their communities. We hope this video has given you a taste of all the incredible experiences Canada has to offer. If you're ready to start planning your own adventure to Canada, please ensure to use our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html?8 equals 7989335 to book your flights, hotels, car rentals, local attractions, and more. It's an easy and kind way to support this channel and make sure you get the best possible deals on your trip. Thank you. Anhub Metaverse team at Vancouver, Canada, CA.